Now, I've been working in the big city for about a year now, and one of the biggest things that I've seen is that food is just so overpriced. I mean, you go in there, you try to go and get lunch, and you have to end up spending about $15 to $18 just to get a decent sized meal or lunch. Like, that's crazy to me. So in this video, we'll be talking about an app named Mealpal and how you can use this app to save hundreds or thousands of dollars every single year on lunches. What's up? I'm Brandon Young. On this channel, I teach you how to make, save, and invest money. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Hey, and check out my Instagram for great posts and great tips on how you can better your life. Now, I've been using Mealpal for about a month now, and it's honestly very good that you can actually pay for your meals in advance, and all you have to do is go ahead to the restaurant and pick it up. Now, we're gonna go a little bit in deeper analysis with this, explaining exactly what Mealpal is and how it can work for you. But I just gotta say that Mealpal has been really great to me. So Mealpal is a restaurant app, and essentially what they do is they offer lunches and dinners at a discounted price. Now, their lunch plans start off from 12 tokens to 20 tokens, and tokens basically means a meal. So you'll get either 12 meals or you'll get 20 meals. And they average around $6.39 for the 12 meals and about $5.99 for the 20 meals. Also, they do offer a dinner plan, and the dinner plan offers 10 and 15 tokens. And the 10 averages around $6.99 and 15 averages around $6.50. So you're paying a decent amount of money for, lunches and dinners. This is like a great price if you want food. Now we're gonna head over to the phone so you can see the application in action. We're gonna see how you basically reserve your meals on a daily basis, how the application looks, and things of that sort. Okay guys, so basically how the app works is every day on a daily basis, you'll see these little red pointers or arrows, and essentially these are restaurants. Now you have the choice of actually just scrolling and seeing exactly what is available by whatever location you are. So essentially, these are the foods, and if you look at them, they look pretty good. But what you would do is you would scroll down and be like, hey, what do I want for lunch the next day, or what do I want for dinner the next day? Also, it's very important, guys, to know that the lunchroom or the way you reserve, you have to reserve it between the hours of 5:30 p.m. the day prior and 9 o'clock. Because they need actual time for preparation to actually create the food. So it wouldn't be fair to them that somebody reserves their food at maybe 12 and they expect it to be ready by 12:10. Like, that wouldn't be fair because they have a lot of people to service. So what you would do is you would choose what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick something. So you would say, hey, maybe I want a carne asada burrito, and you would go there, you would basically reserve the meal. So you would reserve it, and once you reserve it, essentially what would happen was when you go to the actual store, a little thing, there'll be a little box, and it'll say, okay, you need to scan this code to show that you bought this or that you reserved this, and then there will be a timer, and the timer will basically go down and show you, okay, you have 2 or 3 minutes to show this to the cashier, and the cashier will take a look at your phone, and then they will give you your meal. And that's basically how it works. Now, in terms of reservations, you can see some of the things that I've bought. So I've got some pho, some vegetable fried rice, this chicken bowl and rice bowl, some pad thai. I had to get this twice because it was so good. And we got some Bangkok shrimp and noodles from Walk and Talk. Now, with anything in life, you got to take the good with the bad. So Mealpal does have its pros and has its cons. So we'll go into the cons first, and then we'll talk about the good things. Now, the first con is You may have to walk a bit far for your meal sometimes. Sometimes you want a nice meal, but it may be far from your location, so you will find yourself having to walk, which is fine for a person like me because I love walking, but to someone who doesn't like to walk that often, it could be kind of a problem. Number 2 is sometimes the meals on the picture, they look a bit big, but then when you get it, it's a bit small. So me personally, I love to eat food, and if the food portion is not big enough, sometimes I gotta find myself buying 1 or 2 meals. So that's a major problem for me. But if you're someone who doesn't eat a lot or likes small portions, then this might be good for you. And not to say that all their portions are small, but sometimes I find it like I'll get a bowl and I'll eat it very quickly, and that's just on me because I'm just always hungry. But to somebody who maybe have the same metabolism as me, it can be sometimes a problem. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes it does. Number 3 is your meals don't roll over. So sometimes you might find yourself in a busy week, you didn't have a chance to reserve a lot of meals, and you may want to use those meals for the following month, but at this time you won't have that actual option to do so. So I would recommend that you buy probably the smallest amount of meals, about 12, so you can spread those out throughout the month just in case you do get busy and you don't get to use that 20 meal portion. Number 4 is you have to actually plan ahead. Now, this can be a good and a bad thing, but most of the time people just want to go up to the register, order their food, and just get it quickly, and it doesn't work like that. You do have to reserve your food, and sometimes we do forget, life hits us with unexpected things and we don't always have the chance to reserve our food. But it's good that you actually have up to the chance of 9 o'clock the following day to reserve your food, but you may not have the same variety as you would if you were to reserve it the day before. So it can be a double-edged sword. Now, let's go into the pros. Now, number 1, it's so convenient. If you're somebody who works in the city or someone who just has a heavy work schedule, sometimes you want to just sit back, relax after work. You don't have to go in the kitchen and cook. So this is great for that person who just wants a convenient way to get food without having to cook all the time. So there's that. Number 2 is you get to try a lot of new restaurants. So a lot of these new restaurants, when they open up, they don't have the marketing money to actually put themselves out there and to get noticed. Now with Mealpal, you definitely discover a lot of new restaurants. You get the chance to just try new foods that you don't think you would find. A lot of places I walk by every single day, and I think without Mealpal, I wouldn't have known they were there. So it definitely gives you a good chance to find a lot of small restaurants that may be very good. Number 3 is you get to skip the lines because you reserve your food. I don't know how big this is, but during lunchtime, when you go to certain restaurants, the line is usually out the door because there are so many people who want their stomach to be full of foodie goodness, but you have to wait on that long line. With Mealpal, your stuff is reserved. So most of the time when you go in there, it's already made, it's already hot, it's just coming out. That's basically the reason for that timeline. They want you to come between a certain time so your food is still hot. You can still go ahead and pick it up and still have a hot, ready plate of food. So definitely this is one of the biggest pros of Mealpal, being able to skip lines, because I hate having to wait online while I'm hungry. It's annoying. And number 4, it has to be probably the biggest pro, is the meals are cheap, man. The meals are cheap. Picture going into Manhattan, which is one of the most expensive cities to eat or just buy things from in general, and having to sit down and pay $15 to $20 every single day for lunch. That is absurd and crazy. Now picture using Mealpal and only paying about $5.99 to $6.39 for a lunch every single day. The savings is literally just half. That's amazing. So Mealpal is definitely cheap, and you definitely get the same price meals. Like some of these meals are actually regularly priced at $13 on the restaurant menu, but since you're using Mealpal, they actually cut the price in half. So that's great. Now my final thoughts on Mealpal is it's very good for getting high quality meals for a very good price. Now, from using this, from its inception, in the last month, I've only used about $80 on lunch. And that's absurd. Like, picture having to pay, going from paying 12 to $15 per lunch for a whole month to paying about $5.99 to $6.50 per lunch every single day. Like, that's amazing. The savings is great. Now, if you factor that into how much you can save a year, you can use that money for right around anything. Paying an extra bill, buying something nice for yourself. It's just always great to save money. Now, although Mealpal does have a lot of pros, it has a lot of cons, ultimately, the deciding factor is you and what exactly you want on a daily basis when it comes to your lunch and dinner. Because me, on the other hand, I have my certain tastes and why I like Mealpal, but for you to like it, you're gonna have to basically try it. So today, I will leave my referral code and it will get you started with $25 off your Mealpal. So that's great. You're already getting great savings with Mealpal and you're taking an extra $25 off. So that is awesome. Mealpal is a great service and I hope you enjoyed this review / why it can help you save money. So if you enjoyed this video, please give your boy a thumbs up and be sure to go and subscribe for great content like this. I will see you in my next video.